No, of course. My name is Glen Henning. Okay. I was the Regents Lecturer at UCSB last year. I gave a presentation on modern surfing. Is it a business, a contact sport, or a religion? Right there in Campbell Hall. I also did several lectures for Professor Stuart Sweeney's class. And we also did the Groundswell Society Surfing Art, Science, and Issues Conference right there on the campus at UCSB. And one of the things I can say is that over 20 years ago, I was standing right here with a couple of guys, and we were the people who started the Surfrider Foundation. So I've been an environmentalist for a long, long time, and I'm very familiar with your campus, and any questions you want to ask me, I'm happy to answer them.
So what's your stance on the LNG port coming out to Malibu?
I'm not for the port, and I'm not against it. Okay, what I am against is fear. People have gotten so scared of this project that it has clouded their ability to think straight. For example, people think that they're going to be in danger of the thing blowing up, where you have a report right here that I've thoroughly researched that says that there's absolutely no public danger to this project whatsoever. But getting people scared is the main tactic that's being used to oppose this project, and I oppose that kind of fear tactic. Now, the report that I've done, it's entirely bipartisan. It doesn't support the project, it doesn't oppose it, it just tries to get people information so that they can make an informed decision and think clearly. Then, one way or the other, oppose it or support it. But it's not about being for or against. That's the kind of tactic that Karl Rove used in the 2004 election to get George Bush elected. He said, well, are you for the terrorists or against them? And so that kind of divisiveness is a very poisonous thing, and that kind of divisiveness is really one of it's an example of the environmental movement that in the 20 years that I've been part of the environmental movement, I've never seen it this bad.
So yeah, and from our research, it's been we hear it's coming from foreign countries. It's coming from
Australia.
Say that. Well, yeah.
Yeah, people you'll hear them talk about foreign countries. You'll hear Susan Jordan say, Russia, Qatar, and Iran, but you never talk about the fact that BHP is an Australian company, that their main source right now for the natural gas that they're going to bring over here is in Australian fields, that in the last 5 years, BHP has turned into the single most honored company in their sector worldwide in terms of their environmental ethics, in terms of their dedication to community enrichment, and just the way that they're trying to do business going into a future where everybody knows that we've got to change the way we do business in terms of the environment and energy. One of the things about the company is that, being Australians, they're very straight up. In Australia, when somebody says something to you and you say, oh, really? Well, Australians, they'll take that as an insult. They'll say, what, are you accusing me of lying, mate? So Australians are very direct people. And the research that I've done about the company, for example, I spent about 6 weeks, and I came up with, you guys are students, I came up with research information from both sides. This is from the California Coastal Protection Network. Here's all the draft EIR information. I did a lot of homework. One of the things I found out about BHP Billiton is that in 2005, they received an award from Prince Charles at the Royal Albert Hall in England for their commitment to a sustainable future. Okay, now, I don't think anybody here would accuse Prince Charles of being a sellout, and yet the kinds of people, anybody who's here who would even dare say the things that I'm saying to you would probably be booed right off the pier. And in fact, a year ago, when I did a 3-minute speech in front of State Lands Commission, I spent a minute talking about my specific objections to the project, and then I spent 2 minutes talking about my objections to the use of fear tactics. Well, I thanked everybody, I thanked the panel for listening to me. I turned around and I was booed by 200 people for not staying in lockstep with a fear-driven opposition to a very, very complicated project.
People think even the Green Party, that's not going to be. That's what it, that is what it's about. Also, talk about the celebrity factor they've initiated. Also, I mean, it's a celebrity-driven campaign. how does that sit with you?
Well, I guess the basic fact of the matter is, who are you going to trust, movie stars or the U.S. Coast Guard?
Oh, because I've heard it can't be protected. But however, there's a naval yard just steps away from it. So how's that been?
The project, at least the information I've got, and I've also, not only do I have the safety report, but I've got the monitoring and mitigation plan. I've got the complete set of maps. For example, here's a key idea: the way the wind blows. The wind blows out of the west out there. So if you're talking about a project that's here, the wind blows. If you're talking about a project that's out here, the wind blows this way. The wind hardly ever blows that way. So the idea of people breathing in Oxnard or Ventura breathing pollution, or even people here in Malibu breathing pollution from this project, is completely against the fact of which way the wind blows. As a result, the opposition to this project has had to use every trick in the book, and I can say that because being the founder of Surfrider. Now, Surfrider has not taken a position on this, and I don't represent Surfrider in this. I mean, I've already been attacked for, doing that sort of stuff, okay? But you guys are young. You young people have to look at something like this and see how it's being conducted. Not whether you're for LNG or against LNG.
We're against it.
Yeah, they are,
Oh, that's great.
Okay.
Still, yeah.
You guys have clotheslines at home? You guys always, or do you always use your dryers?